y'all. It's been a little while. 147 days to be exact since I've uploaded a video to this channel. And I have been racking my brain for days. Like, how am I going to come back after being gone so long? And I decided maybe the best thing to do is just come sit on the couch, which is new. Well, new to me. It was a free couch that someone was getting rid of. But I thought it would be best to just kind of sit down, catch up on what has been going on the last few months. The last video I posted was May 31st. Today is October 24th. So it has been quite a little while and a lot has gone on, both good and really bad, to be honest. So I figured I wrote me a little list so I don't forget much of anything. And I thought we'd just kind of talk through what's been going on the last couple of months, catch up, and then maybe I'll start making YouTube videos again. Whew. Since my last video I posted was May 31st, let's start this video by going back to the beginning of June and kind of just talking through everything that has gone on since then. So, while I may not be posting videos on this channel, I have multiple other pages where I am posting almost every single day. It's a lot of short form content versus my long form vlogs. It's just a lot to film those right now. You can find my Girl Gone Grilling YouTube, my Gulf Coast Cluckers YouTube. I will link all of that below if you want to keep up with me when I'm not posting on this channel all the time. But that being said, I just got really busy with work, which was fantastic. I had some really cool opportunities to work with some really cool brands on my grilling page, which is Girl Gone Grilling. And I mean, I was busy. I hired a manager earlier this year, and it has definitely helped keep me very busy, which is wonderful. I've had just so much fun working with some really cool brands. So, work has been busy. I have been busy on top of everything else that goes on in my life. So, also, early June, a stray cat shows up to my parents' house and has kittens. We'll touch base on that later. But stray cat showed up, had 4 little orange adorable nuggets. Right after that, we started noticing mold in our house. It first popped up in a cabinet. You know my beautiful built-ins? They are no more. I opened it up one day. I was like, there's mold in here. And over the next few days, it started popping up in more and more places in our house. It was around our air vents. It was all in the walls of like this room that's over here that I'm pointing to that you can't see. I will insert in some before and after pictures, but it was really heart-shattering, but we had to tear out the walls in our house. So my beautiful room went from this to this, and it was hard. And we've treated the house for mold, and this house is 90 years old, and it definitely has some issues. What we think happened was basically the foundation shifted because we had so much dry weather that went into so much wet weather. The house shifted. It caused these little cracks to form from the attic into the house, and a bunch of either hot air was coming in and causing condensation. And we found out there was 3 layers of paneling stacked on our wall where people would just, put up new paneling over the old over the years, full of mold. Not only just like mold, it was extremely toxic mold. I had the mold inspector come out. There's wetness and moisture supposedly all through this house. So it's been a really fun time remediating that to hopefully as much as we can. We're not having the mold issues. Like, I was having headaches every day, and we finally figured out mold, because all I do is stay here. And to be honest, we've never put up drywall back. We wanted to make sure that it stayed dry in there, and thankfully it has, but we just look like we're rednecks living in a construction zone right now. Now we're getting to the beginning of July. This was about a week after we tore apart the house. Hurricane Beryl was heading our way. We were in the dirty part of the storm, and it was coming right for us. And I was like, oh, it's just a category 1. We're gonna be fine. Y'all, I was scared. It was scary. Thankfully, the house was okay. We just had a bunch of tree limbs down, like my pecan trees. I have 2 of them, and they lost a lot of limbs. So we just had a lot of debris cleanup, but thankfully the house was okay. However, we did go nearly a week without power, and that was not fun. I had just hatched some baby chicks, and thankfully one of our neighbors had an extra generator they lent us, and I was able to run the generator. I had a friend who got power back, and they let us borrow their window unit. I literally taped sheets into this living room right here. We taped sheets from floor to ceiling and like boxed in this room to sleep in because we had to stay over here where we could hear the generator if it shut off in the middle of the night. It was not fun, but we got through it. But yeah, Hurricane Beryl, that was a rough one for us over here. It was scary. Another point during Beryl was the most my yard has ever flooded. And if you've followed me for the last 4 years, you have seen the saga of the flooding this property does. I've had some drains put in and it's helped significantly. Directly after Beryl, it just didn't stop raining for like a month. Everything was just misery. Having animals at that time, I still had 2 cows living in my yard, and it was miserable. But thankfully, now we're in a drought. We went from the most rain we've gotten in a long time into now a drought, and we're in a burn ban right now. That endless flooding may have led into this next thing. So, 1st of August, I walk outside, and Betty, my black heifer, was pooping blood. And I immediately started treatment, and 36 hours later, I walked out to her dead. And it was sad, and it was awful, and we lost her so quickly, and I never got answers, and it really sucks and hurts my heart to this day that I don't know what happened. My other cow, Penny, thankfully was okay and unaffected. I had moved her to a new spot, make sure that there wasn't anything in the soil. But yeah, that one was not fun. After that, I may have lost 1 animal, but then I gained 2. Let me show you. Meet Sandy and Tito. Remember that stray cat I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Oh, I took home 2 of them. They're 2 orange terrorists that now live here. So I have 4 inside cats and 2 outside cats because I am a psychopath. So honestly, bringing in these kittens actually came at a very good time because of the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is going to be the hardest for me to touch on. And by the way, this one, Sandy, her belly shaved because she just got fixed, but she's an orange female. That's a little bit more rare than orange males. Most orange cats are males. So I have a boy and a girl. Oh yeah, another thing happened before I talk about the really sad part. September 1st, I rehomed Penny, and that hurt my heart. I was really, really sad. I loved that cow, but it was in her best interest to go to a home that had other cows. She's just a couple miles up the road, living her best life on an actual pasture, being a cow, and that was the best thing I could do for her because I had to put my feelings aside and do what's right for her. She was rehomed on Monday, so I was really sad about that. And right at that same time, Bo, my Cocker Spaniel, started having this cough. And Wednesday, we went into the vet. He had fluid in his chest cavity. And my vet recommended that I see a specialist. We couldn't get into the specialist quick, and we were concerned about his breathing. So the following morning, I took him to Gulf Coast Veterinary Services or something in Houston. Through that, I spent entirely too much money, and we came out at the end of the day with a diagnosis of cancer. Basically, we had two options. The vet told us that it was probably time to make some tough decisions, or we could drain his chest and try and get in with a chemotherapy doctor, and it just sounded brutal. So what we did, well, they had originally drained his chest at the ER vet, which helped him breathe better, but they told us that there is no telling how quickly it's going to come back. Against their wishes, we ended up bringing him back home because he was breathing okay that night, and I made another vet appointment for that Friday. I have a friend who I've known since I was like 2, who is a vet, and we went and saw her. In talking with her and all of our options, we decided that the best thing to do was kindly let him go. Dang it, I didn't think I was gonna cry. It's been almost 2 months now, but it still hurts. Pull myself together. Basically was blunt with me, and she said, death isn't always peaceful, and you want to give him a peaceful end, especially because this fluid was making it hard for him to breathe. So we opted to spend one more night with him because he was still breathing mostly okay. He got to come home. He got all the love that we could give him. And so on a Saturday morning, my very kind friend came over with her assistant and let him peacefully cross over. It was very peaceful. I had never put down one of my own animals before. I feel like I was so lucky to have the ability where he wasn't scared or worried in a vet office. He got to pass peacefully in our arms on our couch, which is part of the reason we have a new couch, was I just needed it to go. It was so peaceful and just surrounded by love. I think this is part of why I've dreaded making this video, is because I'd have to talk about this, and I knew it would bring up feelings. I haven't cried about this in over a month, and here I am. But, yeah, it sucks. We lost him so fast. I always imagined that I'd have so many more years with him because he was only 11 and a half. This happened so quickly, and it was very unexpected. I mean, we went from diagnosis to euthanasia in 3-4 days. It sucks. It really does. So, yeah, that's that. We lost Bo. We miss him dearly. I miss that dog. He was like my shadow, and it's been really hard to not have him around because, I mean, he was literally by my side at all times. And Cooper, he doesn't care as much, to be honest. So it's felt pretty empty around here. So like I mentioned, having those 2 little kittens that are just absolute menaces to this household has, I think, been like comedic relief that we very much needed through this trying last few months. Oh, okay, let me compose myself for a minute. I hope that all made sense. I was a little emotional there, but yeah. We lost Bo first week of September. So after that, I had 3 trips back to back to back. Cody and I went to the Austin area for a couple of days. I came home and immediately went to Nevada. And then I had another day, and then I went to Louisiana with Academy. So between just everything that had been going on in my life, like, I have been pretty run down. I've been very stressed. I haven't been fueling my body right. I've definitely put on a couple pounds, which, you know, stress eating, a little bit of depression. Like, I've really struggled. There's been a lot the last couple of months, and another reason why I've been kind of absent from here, because it's harder to hide how sad you're feeling on these longer videos when they're not 90 seconds long. So we went to Austin. We came home the next morning. I flew out to Nevada because I was going to Frey Ranch Whiskey Harvest. So Frey Ranch is a bourbon whiskey company. I work with them on my Girl Gone Grilling page, and they invited me out. So the very first night I'm there, we were at dinner, and all of a sudden I'm experiencing vertigo. Sitting at the dinner table, it's like a business dinner, there's all of these really cool people, and all of a sudden I look down at my phone, I look up, and the entire room starts spinning. I've never experienced it before, and it was horrible trying to keep myself together and talk. And eventually I finally couldn't handle it anymore, and the brand was so accommodating. They got me back to the hotel. My mom had the hotel come check on me because it's like a big like casino resort, so they had an EMT on staff who came and checked my vitals and everything, and I was okay, but I think that was my body telling me, you gotta take care of yourself, because I was not taking care of myself. And so that was a really big wake-up call for me, and thankfully I was able to get through that trip just fine. I came home, I went to urgent care because I was about to leave again, and got some medicine to help me. So, but that was like the point in which I realized, like, I need to take care of myself, because it's gotten to the point where I was not taking care of myself well anymore. 2 days after I got back from that trip, I went to Louisiana with Academy, which is really cool. Like, I love Academy, and I'm getting to work with them, and it's just like the coolest thing, because it is a store I go to for all of my interests, for grilling, for fishing, for virtually anything. It's at Academy, and it's been such a dream to work with this company, and it's just really cool. Speaking of Academy, I gotta show y'all something, because this is quite fantastic, and if you live near an Academy, you better go. Let me show you. For years, a goal of mine was, number one, to work with Academy, which I am this year, and number two, I want something on the shelves at Academy that, you know, is related to me. And it happened, and I still can't believe it's true. This just came out maybe a week or two ago. You can find me in stores at Academy. It's so surreal, and it is crazy. So this is Bear Mountain barbecue pellets. If you cook on a pellet grill, you have to pick up a bag. This is my own Southern blend. You can see me here on the bag. Oh my goodness, it's the coolest thing ever. So yeah, I have my own pellet blend that's at Academy. Check it out if you're near an Academy. Even if you just go take a photo, buy a bag to gift to a friend. This was really cool, and it still is cool. I go into Academy and just look at it, and I'm on the shelves. I manifested that one day I'd be in Academy, and here I am. It's so cool. Okay, and now we are almost back to present day. So after those 3 trips, I was like, whew, it's finally time to take care of myself. You know, there's been a lot on my plate, and my body's saying it's time to rest. Well, as soon as I get home from that last trip, I get an email, and it's from someone saying, I have an opportunity for you. Do you want to have dinner with Tom Allison, the head of Facebook? I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And I figured that this was going to be a group of like 50, 60 people. Like, I might get to wave at him. No. Me and a friend who was also invited, we drove out to Austin and got to have dinner with the head of Facebook. There was only 7 other creators that were there, and it was an absolute incredible opportunity. I still can't believe that I was picked to go to it, and we got to voice our concerns and our loves about Facebook. And then the next day we got to film with Facebook, and they had an event in Austin, and that was a really, really cool opportunity that seemed very surreal that I got that. And that was, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago? But yeah, that brings us to the current day pretty much, where I am staying very busy creating content for my other pages, working with some really cool brands, and that's that. The last few months have been full of some good, and it's also been full of some very, very bad things that have been really hard on me. But here we are. We've lived through it. Hopefully there's more good coming our way, and there's that. I thought I'd let y'all know Mr. Cooper Pooper's doing well. We've been working on his weight because he got a little too fat. So we're about to go outside and play ball. We got a little Smokey. Hey Smokey, you want to say hello? He is relaxing on the couch, and look at this couch. So we got this used from a friend, and to be honest, this thing is awesome. It's like a big sectional. And this thing, I didn't think it was going to fit in here very well. And it's been so nice to have. And yes, our house is still looking like a construction zone in here. The walls are exposed. All of my beautiful built-ins are gone, which leads us to all these shelves that make us look like hillbillies. I don't even care. But we had to rip out the built-ins that were in here, so I had nowhere to put anything. So it is now on these beautiful shelves in our house. What are you kittens doing? This is Mr. Tito. He is a beautiful boy. He's gonna be such a pretty kitty. What you doing? I thought I'd also let you know Mr. Rudy is doing A-okay. He is hiding out in the top of his castle, so I'm not going to disturb him. But someone's going to ask, so I wanted to let y'all know he's doing good. Well, y'all, thanks for joining me on this long video of me rambling on way too much. But I got everything out there, and we can move forward with a clean slate now that I've caught y'all up on everything that has gone on in the last, what, 4 or 5 months? I don't even know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see from me next. Be sure to check out my other pages if you haven't done so you can keep up with me. And I hopefully will see y'all again real soon. Bye guys.